Testing, 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 testing. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let me put my headphones on. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Good good afternoon everyone. Good evening, good morning wherever you are in the world. Yeah, we just kicked off daylight savings time, especially here in Chicago, kicked off early Sunday morning. So that means the day is going to be longer and the night's going to be shorter. So, as far as the lighting and everything here for Monday rant and discussion, it's going to be sunlight. I do plan on putting a curtain up, so try to get a little dull the little light a little bit, but that'll be in due time. But also, before I forget, I would like to send a special shout out to all the DJs because today is International DJ Day. I happen to be a DJ myself. So for all those who, you know, doing a thing where it's live, whether it's live stream, online radio, doing tours, festivals, residencies in clubs, or just playing by yourselves in your bedrooms or in your small studios, or if you're producing as well, which I'm getting my hands on that. Um, I like to thank you, especially all the DJs who came before me, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And without you, a lot of other DJs that's either established or up and coming wouldn't have the opportunities that they have now if it wasn't for our DJs of the past have paved the way. I also want to shout out to the DJs and producers who are no longer with us. You know, you were always in our thoughts, and the reason why we're doing what we're doing is because you paved the way for us. You you will always be appreciated, and you will never ever ever be forgotten. So, since I let that tidbit out, let's get on to what we're going to talk about. What's going on, everyone? Again, thank you so much for coming through. If you happen to be new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'll be doing another Monday rant and discussion. And this is one that I have thought of for a little bit, especially I'm also learning the ins and outs of AI and how I can use it to boost up my content. But I also know that AI is also being beneficial to DJs as well. But anything that something new comes out, I always have this thought process in my mind. I mean, will this particular apparatus help or hinder DJs? So this is what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss about AI, and will it be an assistance to us during our DJ journey, or will it be a stumbling block or hindrance? Now, we're going to go through both factors, so bear with me as we lay everything down. So, without further ado, let's get to the presentation. Oh, let me back it up a little bit. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Now, my question is, Will the use of AI help or hurt DJs today? Now, if you're a DJ and you're listening to the sound of my voice, you really want to get this and understand because AI is coming. I mean, it's already here, and it's all it's going to do is get more. They're gonna, more. It's going to get more advanced, like everything else. And once that occurs, you know, then we're going to have to start doing some adjustments. Now, in my humble opinion, I don't see AI getting on these decks DJing. I don't see that for the foreseeable future. So that is not what I want to discuss. I want to discuss today and the use of AI today, currently, at this moment. Okay, can it help us or will it hurt us? So that's what we're gonna dive on in. So let's dive on in then. Let's do it. Now, now, the honest answer, which I don't know if it's an honest answer or not, but what I can say, and probably what you've seen here on the screen, that AI will both help, but it also will challenge us, which means we as DJs, we're gonna either have to adapt to what's going on with the use of AI, or we probably gonna have to think in terms of getting out the game, because like everything else, when the ball starts rolling, there is no stopping it. Okay. Now, like it says, like I says, this will depend on the DJ who chooses to use AI. Now, currently, I use AI to kind of boost up my content, and I slowly been doing that process. As you can see, this particular uh, you know picture that you see, with all my wording during my presentation, I create that using AI. And the reason why I do that, because of course with everything that you want to do, you always want to spice things up. You don't want to be such of a humdrum when you're doing anything, whereas DJing or content creating. So you always want to find tools that will assist you in bringing the best out of have what you have learned, and you always learning. Okay. Now it says here, right now AI is less of a replacement and more of an amplifier. Like I was saying, it's that's like I was saying earlier before we start. I said, in my humble opinion, AI will be more of an assistance to us rather as a actual placement, replacing DJs and whatnot. Okay. Now, do I see? I don't see, like I said, I don't see AI really replacing DJs, at this present moment. So we're not even going to talk about that. Now, it rewards creativity, taste, and identity. So you still got to be creative. Okay, you still have to have your own identity when you're a DJ. Okay, and you still have to have taste in your music, in your music selection. Okay, and exposes DJs who rely only on automation. So, in other words, if you're one of these DJs that rely on the quick fixes and you don't do the fundamentals of DJing, you're going to get exposed. But this occurred without with even when AI haven't existed yet. And I have been preaching this, many times here. If you do not pay attention to the fundamentals of DJing, and you know what that is, you know what they are, and if you don't, just go through my playlist here on Monday night rant and discussion, and you'll find a segment that I say about that I preached about fundamentals. And if you want me to, um, bring that back out to light, I'm happy to do another subject on that. Because I already know there's always new DJs coming out every day, every week, every month. So it's always good to refresh. I have no problems doing that. Okay? But let's not get off topic here. Let's get back on the subject matter. Let's go. Okay, now we're going to get to the parts of how AI will help DJs and what opportunities it's going to present us. So we definitely want to know that. Now, first, we're going to go to faster music discovery and preparation. Okay, AI powers tagging, recommendation engines, and analysis tools can suggest tracks that actually match your vibe. Now, if you been paying attention to some of the softwares that's going on, whether it's Recordbox or Serato or Engine, those softwares have already and or even algorithmic DJ. Those software and also virtual virtual DJ. Those softwares are already in development and they are already using AI for that particular thing. Okay, detect key BPM, mode, and energy more accurately, helps DJ dig deeper instead of longer. Okay, so you have to know that these tools are available for using AI. Platforms connecting to companies like Beatport are increasingly learning into smaller discoveries, meaning less time searching and more time crafting sets. That's going to be another factor. Instead of digging and digging and digging, you're gonna there's gonna be soon is gonna be a way where if you start in a certain genre and you want to create a playlist for that genre, that playlist will be created for you. It's not telling you that they're gonna play it for you. It's just saying that we're gonna line up this particular playlist of tracks for you for a particular set that you're doing, and then you execute. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. Nothing further to say on that. On to the next one. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about performance. Everybody wants to know about that, so we're definitely gonna discuss that. So we're gonna have that aspect of what AI can do for us regarding creative performance tools. Okay, modern DJ ecosystems from companies like Pioneer and Native Instruments, and I mentioned some of the software earlier, are integrating AI assistant features such as real-time stem separation. That's already occurred. Intelligent looping, harmonic suggestions, auto cue, and phasing detection. Okay, this lets DJs remix live in ways that once required studio preparation. You know, and these are going to advance and they're going to get better as they progress. We already know about separation. I mean, each time, you know, they update a software, I think one of the things that they focus on make sure that sim separation is updated as well. As we know, virtual DJ has one of the best separations that's out there because they was the first one, in my opinion, the first DJ software that's done it, and then Serrano has pretty much followed suit. Rekordbox is still lagging on that, but they're improving. But these are the things that's currently going on regarding AI assisting DJs. Next one. Okay, now we're going to talk about production and edits become accessible. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So this is how that's going to go down. Okay. AI inside tools connected to Ableton workflow, workflow, my bad, can generate ideas quickly, clean up mixes, create edits, mashups, and tool tracks faster. For DJs who also produce, and I'm one of those DJs that's learning production right now, this removes technical barriers and speed up creativities. That's already occurring because I have stumbled on some AI related tools that's assisting me regarding production. So I don't have to do too much thinking and do more creating. And that's one of the key factors. You know, you you want to do more with less, but you also want to do it more efficient, and you don't want to waste any time trying to figure things out. If you have the tools for you to be more creative, those use those tools, and that's what AI is trying to do. They are giving you that tools to be more creative and more accessible. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, I'm going to be reading these points here, you know, on this presentation because when I did the research, I read them and they made some great strong points. So I definitely want to make sure I point these out to you. Now we're going to talk about content creation and branding. Okay, AI helps DJs design visuals, write promos, generate thumbnails and concepts, plan marketing strategies. Okay, this is especially beneficial for independent DJs competing without large team. That should be every DJ who's also producing and just doing it by themselves without a particular team. Because me, as an example, I can tell you that I I use AI for my designs now. I I use AI for writing my promos, you know, and when it comes to generating thumbnails, have you been seeing my thumbnails lately? I have been really focusing on um, the concept of my thumbnails coincide with the the subject matter of my discussions, and I want to do that. And I've also been trying to do that in all my endeavors. If I'm doing a transitions and it's involving a certain track, I try to find the country or city or where that particular genre was created, and I create a thumbnail to for that. Or if it's an actual genre like disco, I will try to create a disco a thumbnail for that, to make it a disco type theme. So that's what I use. You know, when it comes to planning marketing strategy, yes, AI is essential for that. So These are tools that if you're not using AI to assist you in, you should be, because cut out it will cut your time nearly in half. Okay, let's go to the next one, people. Let's do it. Now, we're going to get to what AI how AI can put us in kind of a stumbling block. How can it hurt us as far as DJing? Now, and we're gonna call this called the auto DJ trap. Okay, if everyone uses automation, and it's saying beat matching becomes irrelevant. Personally, I don't ever see that happening because, like I said before, if you don't know the fundamentals of DJing, you're gonna be exposed anyway. So if I were you, I will not depend on AI when it comes to beat matching. Don't do that. Playlist style DJing increases. I still say, I still say, create your own playlist. Now, nothing wrong with the assistance from AI, but make sure that whatever they show, it coincides to your theme, and it coincides to what you plan, what you intend on playing. If it doesn't, you can always deviate it and make sure you create a playlist, or make sure that the tracks that's there, that's not part of what you want to play in, just take that out and replace it with another track. Okay, sets can start sounding identical. You never want that. And on a personal note, that last one, and I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers when I say this. That's occurred even before AI came to town. Because I don't care. I don't know about you, but there's been places and events that I have went to where a DJ, knowing that a certain track was already paid by the DJ before him or her, for some reason they decide to play that track again on their sets. Even though if it's part of their playlist, that's why you have to always have a backup plan. Do an audible. If you know that the previous DJ played a certain track that was on your list, don't play it. You can always replace that with another track. And I don't understand why certain DJs don't get that concept right. Never got that part. But I don't want to go through a tangent. Let's go to the next line. Okay, now we're going to talk about lower barrier, and it doesn't equal more competition. So we're going to focus on that particular aspect. Lower barrier equals more competition. Now, AI makes entry easier. Okay, more DJs appear overnight. Of course, we know that's not good, because we know that means they're not doing the fundamentals. They're depending on either whatever's on the decks, or they're depending on AI. If they depend on AI that way, then they will be exposed if something happens and whatever AI they're using can't help them. Then they're out in the cold. Okay, technical skills matter less. That would be bad, because if you don't stick to the fundamentals, AI is not going to help you. Okay, branding and identity matters more than ever. In other words, you rather be known as a DJ instead of having the skills of a DJ. That's how I will put that. Okay. The market gets louder, but not necessarily better. More doesn't always mean greater. Just because you can't say we need more DJs. We need no more DJs. And in today's climate, you know, especially nightclubs are closing left and right, worldwide. You know, there's not gonna be enough DJs for these venues. Yes, we have yes, we have platforms like Twitch and whatnot, but what happens when they get too saturated, or when they get to the point where it's too many of DJs doing there? And and I had a discussion with one of my DJ friends, and he's seeing what I'm pretty much seeing. There are certain DJ organizations is pretty much trying to corner the entire DJ market, and they're allowing now. Yes, they'll now. I have no problems of having a new and upcoming DJ to go out and try to perform live stream. But my issue with this is, how long did it took you before you decide to do that? Did you give yourself at least a year and a half, to hone in your skills before you decide to be part of somebody's raid train? And if you didn't, then why? Why you didn't do that? That's another story for another time. Let's keep this going, shall we? Okay. Algorithm taste versus human taste. Ooh. Man. Ooh. This one's gonna be a doozy. Oh my goodness. Even when I read this, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Okay. AI predicts patterns. Great DJs break patterns. Dance floor moments, tension, surprise. Risk comes from human instinct, not prediction models. In exactly, which means that AI is not going to help you read the room when you're playing at a live gig. AI is not going to help you read a room when you're playing online, or even when you're playing online, when you're playing live stream, or even when you're playing online radio. And I'm going to give you an example. My approach to either live streaming or online radio, I pretty much have a thought process on what genre I'm gonna play, and then I hunt for those particular tracks according to that genre. You know, now do I throw some old tunes that I already have in my library? Sure I do, but my focus always, when I'm either on live stream or playing live or online radio, is make sure I play the newest tracks, and it can be from a producer I ain't never heard of. But if that track is hot and it sounds good and it fits my signature DJ style, you can best to be sure I'm gonna play that. AI can't give you that I just mentioned. AI won't be able to give you that, because that's comes from emotion and years of experience. And I've been DJing since 2017. So, that's some that's experience right off the bat. So I just want y'all to keep in mind on that. Don't depend on. That's the part that I think that could happen with certain DJs, especially ones that's coming up, because they may be lackadaisical on trying to learn the fundamentals, and they might take the AI route, and that can hurt you very, very badly if you do that. So remember, you heard it from here first. Let's go to the next one. Okay, audience perception. Now, Remember what I said about if you don't know the fundamentals. Don't think that if you don't do this that your audience is not gonna notice. You know, don't take your audience for granted. They know, especially if they're old, and I'm gonna use house music as an example. Especially if they old house heads, oh, they know. Trust me, they know. Okay, audience perception. Crowds don't connect to technology. It doesn't. They only connect. They want to see a human doing this. They want to feel it. If you give it to it, and if they feel it, they're gonna give you that feeling right back. That's human interaction. No AI, no robot can ever replace that. Okay, you know, because they connect to personality, storytelling, energy exchange, like I just mentioned. You know, AI cannot replace the presence behind the booth. That's right. You know, only us, DJs, we have the ability to bless these decks and give our offerings to our audience. AI will never be able to do that. Even in their best attempt, they won't be able to do that. Let's let's go to the next one. Okay. Sorry for the sorry about the little pause here. I was trying to make sure I got that going. Okay. AI is changing what makes a DJ valuable. Okay. Which that's true. Okay. Old value, technical mixing abilities. New value, taste, culture awareness, crowd reading, storytelling, authentic identity. In other words, AI replaces task and it elevates artists. It doesn't say AI replaced the artist. It just replaced the task of what the artist has to do. And I don't even want to say replace. I would say assist. I think assist is a better term to use because the task that we do as DJs is going to continue no matter what. But it but there is no harm having a assistance to make your task a little more easier, not a little less time consuming, you know, and could get some good results from it. So let's go to the next one. Now, the DJs who does take advantage of AI, they're the ones gonna win. And we'll tell you how. Because it said the future favors DJs who use AI as an assistance, not a performer. That means that AI is not going to do the decks for you, not going to play the music for you. It's going to assist you in the process. So when you do get ready to play, you're ready to go. A tool, not a shortcut. That means it's a tool for you to use. It ain't for you to make any shortcuts. That means you still have to know the fundamentals. A creative accelerator, not a replacement for taste. That means you still got to hunt for your music. And why would you want something like an AI to replace that anyway? Me, on a personal level, I love hunting for new music. It gives me such joy to know I can find something that I love. It's going to be heat, and I know when I play it, people's going to love it just as much. The DJ who combines technology, personality, and community becomes hard to replace than ever. That's the key right there. Like I said, use AI as your assistant, not your replacement. So bear that in mind. Next slide. I think this is it. Okay, it is. So we go back here. Okay, I hope everyone got the gist of that because it's important to know that yes, AI is it has arrived and it's just going to keep, improving. But don't fear it. Let it assist you in what you're doing now because that's what it's for. It's for you to assist. It's for your assistance. It's another tool that you can use on your arsenal. So why not take advantage of and use it? Okay? Okay, that's going to be it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank everyone for being here. For those who's listening, I appreciate love support. Just note that this will be posted out on all my social medias for those who didn't get a chance to check it out. And of course, there'll be some short clips that'll be coming, pretty soon. But until that time, this is how Sex Speaks. Wishing everyone a happy work week. Also, happy International DJ Day. And as always, peace and love.